was happy to accentuate in the choice of the name, to say that this is female power behind it and we can do it just as good as the men.
Buongiorno a tutti e benvenuti a questa nuova puntata di Just Ice Cream. Oggi abbiamo il piacere di ospitare Sindy. Sindy viene dall'Estonia, da Tallinn precisamente, ed è la founder e proprietaria del brand Gelato Ladies. Tanto buongiorno Sindy.
Buongiorno.
Noi generalmente partiamo sempre raccogliendo un po' di informazioni sul nostro ospite. E Sindy, tanto di nuovo benvenuta. Quindi se ci puoi dire un po' com'è andata la stagione, come sei partita, com'è il tuo brand, com'è l'azienda.
Thank you for having me here. It's really a pleasure to come. Any excuse to come to Italy is always great.
Good idea.
Yeah, and really to taste some of the best gelato here in this region is always so inspiring. So I'm very happy to visit, and every time I come I get more and more inspired and just feeling the need to continue, and I still feel I have so much left to do even after this 8 years in the business.
8 anni che il progetto Gelato Ladies è in funzione, attivo. Se ci puoi dire un po' di più come è partita, un po' di più sulla tua storia, ecco.
Yes, it was really this story of two friends, me and my friend Kristen, who I knew since first grade in school. So all my life, and it was a story of two friends having babies and stepping out from the workforce of which we used to be in, and thinking, having this time, a reset kind of, to think now that we're in this situation, that we have, these kids to take care of, do we really want to go and sit in an office and do a job that we don't have a passion for? Mm-hmm. And that's when we realized we really love things like gelato, coffee, wine, and it would be really great to have a spot in Tallinn to have the best of these things that Italy has to offer, and really have this nice place where everyone can come with the whole family, grannies with grandkids, just, men in the middle of a working day having a gelato, little kids coming after school to have a treat. It was really this dream to have such a space, and so fulfilling to see it really come to fruition. And 8 years is a long enough time. So my gelato maker, Kaire, her daughter was just going to school when we opened Gelato Ladies.
Okay.
And now she has been working for us for 2 summers in the kitchen, helping out. So it's really this pleasure of seeing our company grow, our skills grow, and our kids together with it. And they're so proud and they're so happy to help out. And it's really such a family business vibe, even though we're just friends. But
Ma quando avete iniziato il progetto, il team è sempre stato il medesimo di quello attuale o come è variato durante il tempo?
We're really lucky to have Kaira with us for this 8 years on this journey as a gelato maker, and really proud of her development. She participated in CGEP this year at the World Gelato Masters, making a recipe and presenting, and internationally participating, representing Estonia is something really great from where we have started. Then she didn't know anything about working in a professional kitchen. And Kristen, my friend who we started the brand with, she has unfortunately left the company since a year ago, but it's been kind of a new beginning for me, having to really recalibrate and rethink how my role in the business is, taking on this more responsibility, sole kind of responsibility of decisions that I'm making on a daily basis. And it's been really an immense growing experience. So I'm really actually grateful for this entire journey, even though it's been challenging.
E tornando invece a quando hai iniziato l'avventura con Gelato Ladies, com'era la situazione del mercato a Tallinn? Era un mercato in evoluzione, non credo saturo, cioè com'è nato il tutto?
It was really almost non-existent, this ice cream or gelato scene
So
there.
you are pioneer.
We wanted to be at least on this really artisan level that we make in fresh every day. There were some restaurants producing the Italian gelato, but selling in their own places and in shopping center. But we really wanted to have this place where we are not a restaurant making gelato on the side. It is like our soul is to make this gelato every day fresh, and these coffees and things, waffles, they come on the side. So as such a place with such a strong focus on gelato, I feel we were in Tallinn the first, but of course Bas had already done this project in Pärnu and gotten this Estonians ready for the taste of Italian gelato. I also used to go there and enjoy it a lot. So that really, we were not the real pioneers to bring it to Estonia, but we are trying to do our best every day to keep really it on such a highest level, hopefully.
Maybe with that model of business, you were pioneer.
Yes, so there was some Italian men studying in Carpigiani at the same time, opening a gelato business at the same time in Tallinn Old Town, which we didn't know about. So when we were analyzing the market, then we thought we would be the first in Tallinn, but then they opened a little bit before us. It was really a surprise because we studied in the same place, so our approach was similar, and even the place looked kind of same, like in that old town vibe and with a modern touch. So people kept asking us if we are a chain, like if that's our other store, or asking us if we are the other store of them, which is understandable because there was no gelato, and then suddenly there's these two places popping up. So people got us maybe a little bit mixed. But by now we have really, actually quite quickly, we carved out this position for us that we are really known within Estonians and loved within locals as well, not just for tourists in Old Town. So this is something that we have been working on a lot to bring this awareness to have it kind of as a locals place.
In merito invece a come hai imparato a fare gelato, hai avuto un corso in Carpigiani.
Yes, it was in a very hot August of 2015 that Kristen and I brought our small babies and our mothers to take care of the babies, so that we could go in Bologna to study and in the evenings go and taste gelato from the places. So it was this week of just being here and trying to immerse ourselves into everything as quickly as possible. Because as I said, we had the small babies with us, so we couldn't really stay for the entire course. We just had to go back and get started after this 1 week. And we were only able to come back to do this second part of the studies over a year later. So that's when really it got more serious. That's when we got the skills to make the gelato our own, make the recipes completely from scratch. So that's when it got interesting, but the first year was more like starting up the business, like getting everything up and running.
Scusa se ti interrompo, quindi subito dall'inizio, dopo il corso, avete affrontato la produzione partendo dagli ingredienti singoli, dal neutro, ecco.
Not in the very beginning, because we didn't have the skills after just 1 week of training. This gelato world was completely new to us. So we were using bases, base 50 in sorbets and gelatos. But of course, trying always to use no colorants, no artificial enhancers of flavors. So it was really always this point that you can give it to your small baby as a first ice cream in their life.
Sure.
You can be sure that you know what is inside there and there's nothing there excessively.
E com'è stata la prima reazione rispetto al tuo gelato di Tallinn, diciamo, degli abitanti di Tallinn, visto che hai detto che hai sempre un po' lavorato più con i local?
It was really amazing how well we were received. It seemed like people were ready for that because everyone is traveling more and more, going abroad, having good gelato in Italy or in other countries, trying cool new things. So when we opened, it was this reaction more like, finally, we can have great gelato here as well. So, of course, there's still a big portion of people who don't know what gelato is and who don't really understand what goes on behind the scenes to produce it. But I think many people really appreciate it from the get-go.
Una curiosità, prima di avere il tuo gelato, che immagino sia il tuo gelato preferito o comunque il tuo consumo, com'era la tua abitudine, la tua relazione con il gelato a Tallinn?
Non-existent. I would never eat it,
So,
no.
Industrial gelato, probably? Or...
We have a lot of industrial ice cream, and it's actually on a pretty good level. It's more delicious than in many other countries. So a lot of Estonians are very used to eating it and don't see any problem with it. But because of my background of living in London and in Australia, I had worked in Australia in a chocolate shop, and we had local handmade gelato there.
Okay.
And after having that mango sorbet and such amazing things from there, I could never really replace it with anything else. I was searching for that moment.
Stando alle ultime informazioni che ci hai dato, quindi Australia, cioè hai buttato lì Australia, Londra, così, dici un po' come sei arrivata, no? Al gelato, come è stata la tua crescita, il tuo percorso professionale di vita.
Yes, well, I was studying photography in London. I was working in Starbucks, making million coffees every day and really on this industrial level.
It's for this that you didn't want a coffee?
Still recovering, yeah. But we were really the busiest Starbucks of London on Oxford Street. So it was really an experience of how to run an extremely busy shop. Even though I was just working there as an employee, of course, not running it, but it is still what I'm basing many of my decisions on today, this experience working in that shop, and also in quite the opposite version of it in Melbourne in a handmade chocolate shop where the owner was there every day making everything from the best chocolate of the world.
Nice.
And it was really such a change. And of course, the coffee culture in Melbourne is mind-blowing. The level of coffee there, how they have it as a passion, really some of the best coffee in the world can be had there. So it definitely shaped my taste and my understanding and gave me a lot of ideas, because I was working in Australia as a rental hospitality staff. Oh. So every day when I went to work, I would be in a different place. So I would be in the governor's house polishing silver trays, and the next day in a horse racing ground, and then in best hotels, offices, everywhere where hospitality was there. So it was really something that gave me this behind the scenes insight on such a level that when I came back to Estonia, it was my dream to open my own café.
A proposito sempre di queste esperienze che hai avuto girando un po', insomma, per alcune parti del mondo, come pensi che le hai portate nel tuo modello di business, nel tuo progetto di Gelato Ladies?
I took with me, I think, all this background information of how to best set up a place and how to best run it, what to have there on offer. For example, the passion for the best coffee. So it was always my dream to have a La Marzocco machine. And now finally this year, this dream came true. So not all dreams come to fruition in the very beginning, but then step by step, year by year, we can always improve. And this dream from a very long time ago finally came true. So it's such moments that really give me the strength to carry on, that like we can achieve anything we set our mind to.
Su Gelato Ladies, anche qui è sempre una curiosità, già il nome è abbastanza, come dire, impattante o comunicativo. È una scelta, cioè il modello di business è solo donne?
It doesn't have to be only ladies involved behind the scenes. We have actually had quite a few men working for us as well. But us behind the business who are like leading it, and our main gelato maker Kaira has always been there, the females. So it's something that when we were coming up with a name for our place, we were thinking of all kinds of ideas. But there was something nice about the fact of alluding to us in a non-direct way, not using our actual names in the brand or anything like that, but still it meant us. So if you talk about Gelato Ladies, it meant those ladies. So it's nothing against men. For me, it's always been important throughout my life to be free and not follow these limitations that society is putting on us, that this is a man's job, this is a woman's job, or anything else. I believe in complete freedom of our choices in life. So it's something that I just was happy to accentuate in the choice of the name, to say that this is female power behind it and we can do it just as good as the men.
Gelato Ladies, secondo il tuo punto di vista, come è cambiato durante il tempo e allo stesso tempo come sei cambiata anche tu, cioè come questa esperienza ti ha portato nuove cose nella tua vita, insomma?
It has been really a journey of becoming a better leader, becoming a better colleague, better mother, better partner, everything going hand in hand with running the business. So this school of life, really. And what I really like is that when I'm running this business, I can bring all of my skills to the table, and it requires me to do so. It's not letting me get stuck in a comfort zone. So, for example, my degree in photography, I can use it every day to take pictures in my shop.
Social media manager about yourself.
Yes, and many other things like that. So whenever I do any kind of self-development, it is always helping me to become a better leader at work. So during this 8 years, a lot of things has happened, and everything keeps changing in work, in my life. So it's been really this journey of trying to find a balance to take care of myself and those around me, and also the shop. So it's really been a lot. But we are here, and I'm really grateful for everything I have learned along the way, and I feel there's so much more we can still do, and I'm just happy to have this passion for this field every day.
Riguardo sempre un po' il tuo invece ruolo, la tua presenza attualmente in Gelato Ladies, cioè di cosa ti occupi? Per esempio, fai ancora gelato, ti occupi solo della parte manageriale?
So due to my health, I have not really been able to work in the kitchen anymore. really very rarely I go and make some gelato. I still, of course, enjoy it, but it's something that I cannot really physically do. That's why I'm very happy with our strong team, that I can rely on them.
How many are you in Gelato Ladies?
In the gelato kitchen, we have 2 gelato makers and 1 helper who is there year round. And then in the summer, we have more help.
Okay. And in sales, how many people do you have?
In the café side, we have varied amount of people, because we have probably 10 people who are connected to us, but do few shifts here and there.
Okay.
So it's a lot of trying to adjust with the availability of the people,
Turnover.
and trying to adjust that we always have someone to keep our doors open. But at the same time, of course, there's much less in the winter than there are in the summer.
Sono curioso di capire, visto che è un mercato Estonia che magari non ha la conoscenza di tutti sul gelato, mi interessava capire un po', descrivendo un po' l'attività di Gelato Ladies, come avviene. Non so, la gente mangia il gelato seduto a tavola, lo porta via, hai vetrina, pozzetti.
Yes, so we have to have the open showcase still in Estonian market circumstances, to be honest, because people are too new to this gelato world. So they need to check it with their eyes, know what they're eating, and it makes the customers more comfortable, and it's for us also very nice to do these beautiful pans and decorate. And but of course, in terms of quality and the texture and everything, I prefer pozzetti, of course, whenever I go anywhere and eat. But it is something I hope the market will grow into soon, and maybe we can be the pioneers in that.
Com'è le abitudini invece proprio di mangiare il gelato in Gelato Ladies? La gente viene, si accomoda nei tavoli o proprio acquisto d'impulso, prende va?
So, we have tables, and you can sit down, especially in the summer. Pretty big terrace out front, so increases the chances that you find a seat. But most of the people have to take away. It's a very small shop, but it's in Old Town. It's on the path of people passing by, so it works for us.
Il gelato più venduto, anche per capire la tua proposta di gusti in gelateria? Pistachio.
Yes, it is pistachio, so much so that we have joked that when it continues like this, we have to rename ourselves Pistachio Ladies, because this is really like crossing a line, like how much pistachio can you love? But that is what the customers like, and what we are famous for, what they come
Pistachio.
back for. Yes, unfortunately, yes, because we didn't decide to price flavors differently.
Okay.
We have the same price for everything.
Like in Italy?
Yes, but that's why, we feel a little sad about this.
Anche per Gelato Ladies quest'anno c'è stato un boom di pistacchio?
No, actually this year we have some other flavors rising, almost taking over from the role of pistachio, and really it's leveling out. And our sorbets are super popular. So we do a strawberry raspberry year round, and it's everyone can't get enough of it somehow. And we try to spice it up with different sorbets all the time, and creating new flavors all the time. So these do become very popular as well.
Naturalmente con frutta fresca?
Yes, we try to use as much fresh fruit as possible, but of course in our situation, the country is almost frozen for most of the year, so the fruit and berries often frozen, but we use pure natural ingredients and play around with very local things from our gelato maker's mother's garden, hand-picked or from the forest, but also making flavors with exotic things, like our new flavor from a few weeks ago, lychee, dragon fruit, and lime. So none of those things are in Estonia, but
Nice.
it was a very beautiful combination, actually.
Colorful.
Very beautiful color, lovely light taste, and people get very excited that there's something new.
C'è o più ingredienti, quindi gusti che proponi in gelateria tipici dell'Estonia, che insomma sono un po' il bigliettino da visita?
There's a berry called sea buckthorn. It's not that it's only in Estonia, but it is pretty limited in its like people really don't know much about it other than in the countries that are surround the Baltic Sea. In Germany, it's known near the Baltic Sea, and in other countries like Latvia, they grow it. It's super healthy and has amazing taste.
Okay.
It's these orange berries and full of vitamins and things that are good for you. And this sorbet has such an amazing depth of flavor to it. You don't need to add anything else to combine it with. It just on its own, so amazing. And after years of having it, people still come back for it and love it. It's something really great that we can showcase a local berry and propose a new way to think about it, because usually people have it as a juice, but this is something more indulgent.
Quanti sono i gusti che proponete e anche come gestite un po' la produzione, il sistema produttivo?
I think over the last 8 years we have made maybe 400 flavors, tried out many different things. It's because we work with chefs as well for the restaurants and for small different projects. So we try to spice up our life and keep making new ones, but also many times these ideas come from outside. Somebody comes to us and says, I need this for this dinner, can you make? And we are like, okay, we have never made this before, but we will figure it out. So that's why this variety of flavors that we could potentially make is of course endless, but we have already made a lot of things. But in the showcase, we have 12 flavors only. We reduced it down from 18 in the beginning because really to have this freshness there, that it is coming sometimes almost straight from the machine, and to have it more easy for the customer to decide as well, because we had to really figure out something to cut down the waiting time in the queue. So that helped a lot as well.
Com'è la distribuzione della proposta dei gelati? Cioè quanto è gusti latte, gusti diciamo ad acqua, vegani, plant-based?
For our shop, the distribution is 50-50. It's really something I strive to make even more in the direction of water-based sorbets and also like cream gelatos that are vegan. So this is hopefully reducing step by step all the time, because people do want that, and this is really a joy for me. I've been vegan for 6 years, so it is something that I'm trying like step by step to change in the shop as well, but can't really do much overnight when the market is not really there. But luckily these good creamy sorbets that mimic kind of this milky creamy taste are something that people really are drawn to and prefer and ask for more variety all the time.
Mi ricordo di te, Sindy, in diversi posti, nel senso sei venuta a Rimini, sei venuta a Longarone per il MIG, a Rimini per SIGEP ovviamente, sei venuta quando abbiamo fatto SIGEP Off, che era credo nel 2021, insomma comunque ancora purtroppo durante il periodo del Covid, quindi penso e suppongo che tu sia una persona che piace viaggiare e documentarsi, sentire, ispirarsi. C'è una città o zona o area, un'azione che ti ha particolarmente deviato in modo positivo, naturalmente?
Yeah, you caught me. I do love a good excuse to go to any other country, and especially when it has to do with gelato, to visit fairs, but also just shops, what they're offering, and it's really inspiring. What was a really nice. Visiting California has been inspiring as well. LA has all this up and coming food scene, like you see these changes there first, and then they come to us much later. So it's always nice to go and enjoy, but also kind of get ahead of the game, like get to know what is coming. Last time I visited my friend there in LA, we ate at a vegan Italian restaurant. So I love Italian food, and I'm vegan, and to go to a place that is an Italian restaurant but wholly vegan was like paradise to me. Honestly, it was amazing, and I hope this wave of such places come more and more to Europe as well. So that's nice, but also, of course, London is somewhere where I studied and lived, so it's always nice to visit and see what's going on. But in Italy is where you can get the best gelato. So
Okay.
I just visited a place you recommended, and here in Parma, and it was really mind-blowing. Made me think of retiring, but then I thought, no, this has to be fuel for pushing forward. There's so many more higher peaks to reach, and can't give up now.
Essenza, non mi ricordo esattamente come è avvenuta la nostra prima conoscenza, probabilmente in qualche fiera o in qualche contatto via mail, ma credi che Essenza ti abbia supportata o aiutata in qualcosa di specifico con Gelato Ladies, in qualche applicazione, qualche tuo obiettivo personale e di business? Com'è stato il tuo approccio e come la vedi?
Yes, Essenza is something. Our story goes way back. I looked up the emails, and you wrote to us in 2017 for the first time.
My fault.
And yes, I declined very cordially and said our skills are not at the level to really expand to use such products because we don't know enough yet. So luckily after that we did learn more, and then our journey continued to the point where we wanted to introduce these already pre-packed half a liter cups. So then it became all about the label. It became about what is going to be written on the label. How are we going to describe this base 50 in sorbets and in there? So we have to bring out all these E numbers, and that's when we got really serious about let's fix this problem once and for all. Let's make it happen, what we had been thinking of for a while, but didn't really feel confident enough to completely change. And then thanks to your help, actually, it was possible, because we first then had a meeting in CEGEP in 2020. And after that, your team really helped us to check the recipes, that we are using all these different products correctly as well. So it was very nice to finalize all these sorbets, make them work with those ingredients, and really now, since we have never looked back, and of course want to only make clean label products.
Sono curioso relativamente alla parte di comunicazione. Com'è il tuo approccio verso il consumatore? Viene comunicato in un certo modo il fatto che ci sia il gelato clean label, o una parte sia clean label, o è silente, diciamo?
That's a good idea. Thank you for that. I should try to make a whole point of it in the shop as well, because we do talk to people. We do, of course, represent us as always having natural ingredients and making everything by hand and purely.
Okay.
But it could be much more clear in the shop as well, for the customer who just steps in from the street and doesn't know anything about the brand. We could do something about it for sure. I think this awareness about those things is rising like day by day in the world of the background of the things that we are eating and the effect of them to our health. So this is something interesting to really bring to the light more.
Prima, Cindy, hai detto che tra le varie forniture hai anche quella del settore ristorazione, quindi una sorta di catering per ristoranti, caffetterie, bla bla bla. Ci sono altre attività che porti avanti con Gelato Ladies? Sono profittevoli? Come le conduci?
Yes, we have a very short season in Estonia of summer, and the rest of the year is cold. So we have to.
How many degrees now?
I'm too scared to look. So we do a lot of things in all of those fields you mentioned. So we do catering to offices and parties, weddings, things like that. And we do sell to resellers. So this year especially has been really huge for us in that sense, that we have expanded from the shop to across the region. So we're available all summer long in south of Estonia at the beach café, and this project will continue in the future. And in the middle of Estonia, there's a small town, Viljandi. That place has a really good restaurant, like known all around the country. People go for a day trip and go visit that restaurant. And we are now available there as well with our products, and also in Helsinki. So this is biggest win for me this year to start something across the borders as well. In collaboration with a coffee company, Johan and Nyström in Finland. Their head office is in Sweden. And then in Finland, they have this amazing coffee shop in a very nice location. And we use their coffee, an amazing strong espresso roast called La Bomba, which we make into a very strong coffee gelato. So it's really mind-blowing. And it's available at their shop, and in our shop, it's like a collaboration.
Super. So it's a sort of affogato?
No, it's a coffee gelato, but it has a lot of espresso in it. And it's a very beautiful flavor. So we sell that in their shop with some other flavors. So this has been really exciting to try to evolve in such a way that not to run more shops, because running a cafe is super time consuming. Yeah. So now I have given up trying to do that kind of and try to work more with others.
In merito a queste collaborazioni, queste attività, la mia curiosità è sempre in un'attività come una gelateria come viene gestito il tempo, come sono la gestione delle risorse, quindi come fai a ricavare il tempo, se le segui tu direttamente, hai qualcuno che ti supporta, e anche a livello di comunicazione avete qualche agenzia che vi supporta o è tutto sulle vostre belle spalle?
We handle everything in-house, so we have a very strong team in the kitchen who can make anything happen and happy to rise to a challenge always. And I try to do my part. As I mentioned, I cannot really make the gelato daily, so I try to be useful in other ways and have my projects of finding the resellers and communicating with them and handling the social media and all such things, all these collaborations, which we had more this year. Only we have had very interesting ones, but already since years ago we have been collaborating with the best chefs in Estonia. So it's been really an honor to be selected, trusted, and thanks to that, we've had some pretty great experiences, like making gelato for a Michelin star restaurant, which now has 2 stars. So it's the only one in Estonia with 2 stars. And when we were making that happen, when we succeeded to develop together new good flavors with Matthias Dieter, then that was really like this pivotal moment in life where you feel I have perfected my skills to a level that I am able to make those things happen in the world of gelato.
L'obiettivo era studiare delle ricette per la sua carta dei dessert.
Yes, so the chef turned up with a box of white Alba truffles and said, this is worth a couple of thousand, but I will leave it in your hands to make it into a gelato for the restaurant. And I was ready to go home because it was the literally 30th of December, and I was going home for that year, right? Like not gonna work that year anymore. Next day off, and instead I got these truffles, and they start to expire, right? So you need to do something fast. So instead of going home, I stayed in the kitchen and started working on it. And when I was doing this, I just couldn't even breathe, because this dust is like more expensive than gold. So you just don't want to mess up anything. And it was really a challenge how you put this truffle flavor into a gelato.
Next time, call Gianluca and I will do for you.
But it was a great moment that you realize you are actually able. And it, of course, in collaboration, so we gave it to test. He always says about flavors to make it stronger, so we put more. And it was really something out of this world for our small little gelato place to make for such a place.
Sindy, avviandoci un po' alla conclusione di questa piacevolissima intervista, prima di andare ovviamente a fare un po' di gelato, domanda: futuro di Gelato Ladies, sogni, obiettivi, hai qualcosa da spoilerare?
Yes, I have a lot of dreams for the future. I want to continue for us to participate in competitions and kind of really get to the world level through that as well, to put a little pressure on us to compete and also represent Estonia as a gelato country. So that's something that we were on the way to do this just recently, to go to Budapest to visit the shop of the current leader of the World Gelato Masters. But on the way there were these floods, so we couldn't really get there. But for next time, for sure, to try to visit the places of the winners of such competitions and try to keep learning and honing our skills to really take another chance at such competitions. And another thing is to spread our wisdom and knowledge and offer it to others. So what we do in the café is offer all the time working experience for people with no previous working experience, and give them a nice experience of working under very empathic, caring bosses, let's say. Hopefully it's true, but that's what we aim for. So there's to really give them this soft entry into the working life. That's one thing that I feel very passionate about, to have it as a safe environment, both physically and emotionally for the young girls. And other thing is in the gelato kitchen, we have hosted a few interns over the years. And this summer we had another person from Carpigiani, had just recently finished the course there and was eager to put his learned theoretical skills into like practical test during the busiest time of the summer. So his name is Mohammed. He is from Switzerland. And he did an excellent job in the middle of the busiest season to really come to our kitchen for a few weeks and learn from us, and also share his fresh knowledge that he just received.
And the worst period at the same time.
Yes. And of course, at the same time, we had other challenges, and as you do. So it's somehow we made it through this very successful and busy season. And if we can share such things with others and, nurture this community of gelato people and really be players in the gelato world, then that's really my dream.
Chi chiameresti alla prossima puntata di Just Ice Cream? Ha un nome da suggerirmi, visto che sono a corto di idee?
I would really like you to suggest to you a female guest. So Carpigiani Gelato University director Kaori Ito has been doing this for 10 years and I think could be really the best person to speak about the school and this contribution they have made to the gelato world.
Okay.
I for sure would not be here without it.
Nice suggestion. Ok, proveremo. Grazie Sindy, è stato un grande piacere averti qui e andiamo a fare un po' di gelato, così insomma parliamo anche, continuiamo la nostra chiacchierata.
Sì, grazie. I hope you will like my one the most of all the ones you had.
Sì. Ok Sindy, siamo nuovamente qua e siamo per produrre il gelato, il momento più bello del podcast. Allora, tu mi hai chiesto di preparare una ricetta plant-based e vegana, quindi io lascio la parola a te. Come vedi, io non ho neanche la giacca oggi perché oggi non ho voglia di fare gelato, quindi go and present your idea of gelato.
Yes, so here today I would like to make my favorite flavor from our shop, which is the cashew caramel, and it is something very beloved by our customers as well. And I'm just happy to share it with you because it has a lot of ingredients by Essenza in it, so it's a nice combination. And what I'm using is what I brought from Estonia, this cashew paste which they make by hand in South Estonia and from organic ingredients, and they don't add anything, any oil, any sugar. So I really like to use such ingredients in my gelato. So I'll mix the
if you want
the
to
dry
describe the
ingredients.
Okay.
So we have the sugar mixed with the maltodextrin and the dextrose, and then after I add this.
How is with your gelato? Do you like a certain level of sweetness, or?
We have reduced the sweetness compared to Italian gelato, or at least the recipes they provide in Carpigiani, these sugar levels. We try to keep it always on the minimum side of it, the smallest percentage, because Estonians really don't like sweets that are too sweet. We use a lot of curd cheese and things like that in desserts. So people expect something a little bit more lighter, more refreshing, rather than something like overly sweet. So we've had to receive a fair bit of comments about it, even when it's at the minimum level. People are still sometimes saying it's too sweet. But the sweetness perception within people is very different, right? So it's kind of hard to please everyone anyway. So we try not to take it to heart. So now I will add the L'essenza ingredients, the fiber smooth, upgrade, and we have the L'essenza syrup as well.
Okay. So
we're adding. Sorry.
No.
I was just saying that I've just put in 10 grams of salt, which is quite a lot, but it gives it a very nice this kind of
balance
aspect
between sweetness and
of the flavor. Yeah.
We began the conversation when and you told us that you start with a 50-gram base, and now you're using stabilizer. So. Are you happy about this achievement?
Very, very happy. And of course, the main advantage is that you get to customize the recipe to your wants and needs, but also just to know what they are and put them in by hand is very important to us.
Okay.
So I will add the things to the water now. So for this gelato, we are not using a plant-based milk.
Perfect.
We are just using the cashew paste with water, and it will create this enough creaminess in there. So let me just add these.
When was the first time that you made and introduced this recipe?
It was few years ago, but ever since then, it's one of the flavors we make to the pre-packed half-a-liter cup.
Okay.
So it's always available for takeaway and for ordering to the house. So
Do you sell also online?
yes, we sell through this delivery platform, and that's why it's very useful to have some flavors like pre-packed. So you can't really predict that demand much,
Sure.
and if you have, if it's not taking from the gelato you have in the counter, then it's very makes it easier to manage, and it's just nicer for the customer because it's already frozen. So when they keep it in after receiving, if they keep it in the freezer, it's not going to develop ice crystals.
Yeah.
So I think it's a better solution for the customer.
And how much flavor do you have in the gelato tubs?
Oh, I don't know by heart. I think almost 20.
Huh.
Yeah.
Whoa. But did you need to change something in your recipe? It's the same formula that you have for your standard gelato in the showcase.
Yes, we changed when we first started making them, when we went to use essenza, and now it's the same recipe for those and for the showcase. It's just a different...
as helpful to optimize the recipe formula.
Of course, yes. It was thanks to essenza that we were able to make this jump to start making them in this prepackaged version, because then we really in control of all our ingredients.
I'll let you finish, then I have a question.
Yes,
about
I will add the essenza caramel paste now, and then
So our vegan caramel paste, super. So it's our bird caramel vegan. Do you like to make gelato?
I enjoy it if possible, but somehow whenever I have to make gelato, it's kind of in an emergency situation that I have to do it, and it's usually busy then as well. So then, of course, it's a little stressful if you're not that used to making it every day, and then it's a huge pressure to make. So I like to start the day early and be in the cafe when nobody else is there, and have a coffee, make a plan for the day, and really like have this peace. And then by the time I leave, it's sometimes you can't leave in the summer before it closes, but it's nice to leave when you feel like you have done the best you could and given your all on a very long day, and there's gelato in the counter and the huge line of people standing, then it's a pleasure, of course.
Is to not see the view. You just close your eyes.
Yeah, we have this like glass wall in the laboratory, right? So I can see the queue, and people can see if you're what you do in there. So this really doesn't help with the stress level if you can see like huge queue just standing, and you're like, I can't work this fast.
I'm curious to know what is the expectation from a gelato shop or someone that it's in front of us. I mean,
yes, I think for me the main advantage is to really see the people we usually talk to in email, or you just it's nice to see people in real life and get this get connected and meet new people and get inspired. So that's for sure for me the reason to come. It's a little hard to look at all these huge stands with like prefabricated things, and they try to sell you something, and you're just kind of like, I'm so sorry, but I don't need anything like that. Like
the magic word for our seller. No, I'm not interested.
Yes, it's. But I will look at what they have made. Yeah, what are the flavors that are up and coming? But for me, it was really interesting that this year we went for a reason, like kind of like you, that you go there to work. Like we went behind the scenes. We went. My gelato maker Kaira was participating, so we didn't really have much time to look around. We were there for purpose, and that was really nice feeling actually. To like kind of like I have spent years already like just wandering around. Like now
I remember that it was you, because I came with the bus to see you. I think, because the arena was back our booth, I think.
It was very close close. That's why I got to see you all. But it was it really took the whole day for us to be present for the competition, and it was a nice boost to think that maybe in the future, like, we don't have to come just as, like, you know, outsiders looking in. Like, we already know people and we know we have a role or like something to do there. So that was really pleasant.
Okay, Cindy. So I think now we can mix.
Let's mix.
Super.
Very nice. So we, in our shop, we always keep this pattern that, like, it comes from the machine, and then we use the ingredient on top as a decoration, so customer knows, like, what is inside. So we like to use little bit in front, right?
Okay.
So that's kind of our signature, that we always want to keep that visible for in the open counter showcase, right?
Sure.
So here we are. I hope you enjoy.
Wow.
This is
So I
ready.
think we need to try it, because it's an hard work, but someone has to do. The structure is
came out
amazing.
perfect.
Wow. Okay.
So there you are.
Thank you.
Please enjoy.
So cheers, Cindy.
Cheers. Thank you for
Thank you.
inviting. And
Let's taste. It's like during my breakfast, I have some cereals with chocolate, and every morning I try to take out the drops of chocolate, and it's the same because I'm looking for the cashew nut.
it's
It's so tasty, huh?
it's very thick.
It's thick, but it's salty. It's very, very good. Probably, sorry for the other guests, but is the best one. Sorry Luca, sorry Valerio.
Yes, this is the best. Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Amazing.
Thank you, Cindy. It was really nice to having you, and thanks for this fantastic gelato.
Thank
See
you.
I hope in Egypt or whenever we can.
For sure, we'll see you around. And thank you so much for having me. It was really a pleasure.
Ok. Grazie a tutti. Bye bye. Ciao.